Hi guys! Magandang araw po sa inyo lahat. This is me, Sean from Keep It Up with Sean, and this video is the second part of this lecture series about soil conservation and management. If you are busy preparing for the upcoming licensure examination, sana magamit nyo tong video material na to. And even if you are not preparing, I hope this video can inspire you to help conserve our environment in which soil is part of it. Kasi we need to do our share para the future generation can still enjoy what we are enjoying now. Sana meron kayong matutunan for this video, and let me know if you have some questions, and you can always share this video to your friends. See you again next time. Bye! So these are the types of erosion by Prevert et al. And Hudson. So we have here, number one is raindrop or splash erosion. It occurs as soil particles are detached due to the impact of raindrops and splash at a longer distance in the downslope than in the upslope direction. So if a raindrop strikes the soil, once na yung ulan ay nag-impact doon sa soil directly, without any plant cover to slow it down, the raindrop can splash soil particles up to 3 feet away. That's why it's very important na merong mga tanim na nakatanim sa lupa kasi the impact of rain will not be directly to the soil. So kung may ulan man, first is dun muna siya magfa-fall sa punong kahoy, and then sa punong kahoy madidistribute pa siya ngayon sa mga branches, sa ibang mga dahon. So the velocity or the kinetic energy of that raindrop will be less once it reaches the soil. So ito yung isa sa mga kailangan natin maintindihan, that if there is vegetation present in the soil, there will be less erosion compared sa walang tanim. Of course, it also varies guys kung yung tanim mo is kahoy or yung mga low-lying plants yung nakatanim. Loosened soil may move further by water flowing over the soil surface, and crop residue or conservation cover can help cushion the crushing below of rain drops. So ito yung first step ng water erosion. The second type of erosion is the sheet wash erosion. It is the uniform removal of soil in thin layers from sloping lands, resulting from sheet or overland flow occurring in thin layers. So ito yung pantay-pantay yung kanyang pag-move ng lupa by the floodwater. The third type is real erosion. Ito yung removal of soil by water from small but well-defined channels formed when there is concentration of sheet wash flow. So ito yung may mga channels na ngayon na makikita, reels. So real erosion develops when the surface water concentrates in depressions or low points through fields and erodes the soil. Kasi nag-accumulate ngayon dyan yung tubig dun sa mga depression. So, through time, pag masyadong malambot na yung lupa, mas madali siya ngayong mag-move. Kaya nagkakaroon ng channels. These are common in fields with little to no crop residue resulting from tillage operations on or overgrazed grasslands. So, yun. The fourth type is the gully erosion. So, ito yung unlike the real erosion, sa gully erosion is malalaki na kanyang channels na magpa-form. So this is the removal of soil by water from channels formed when reels combine and develop to the extent that they cannot be eliminated by normal tillage operation. It happens when runoff concentrates and flows strongly enough to detach and move soil particles. This is highly visible and affects soil productivity, restricts land use, and can damage roads, fences, and buildings. So, worse na to guys, yung gully erosion. And then we also have stream bank erosion na kung saan yung gilid na mga ilog happens when stream banks erode by runoff flowing the side of the stream banks or by scouring and undercutting below the water surface. Kung mapapansin nyo sa mga rivers, pag bumabaha, yung mga banks ay yung maliit na river, pag masyadong malaki yung baha is lumalaki din yung river. So, ibig sabihin na nakakat down, na-erode din yung gilid ng mga ilog. So, this is stream bank erosion. And then we also have scar erosion, which is influenced by the velocity and the direction of flow, depth, and width of channel and soil texture. And of course, we have the wind erosion. So it's not only water, guys. We also have wind erosion, which is the removal of soil due to wind, especially when the soil is dry. And this is usually happens in deserts, coastal dunes, and beaches. Kasi yung, especially pag masyadong dry yung lupa and then malakas yung hangin, nakikarry ng hangin yung soil dun sa area na yon. It occurs when strong winds, moderate breeze to a powerful wind blows over light textured soils. Light textured soils, ibig sabihin yung mga magagaan like clay, silt, sand. Medyo mabigat kasi yung sand kaya hindi siya ganun ka bilis ma-transport by wind. Although in Arab countries, they have a lot of sandstorms. And yun nga, maraming sands ang kanilang na-erode. So these are some of the pictures. So we have here gully erosion, sheet wash erosion, which is the uniform removal of the soil. And then these are effect of the wind erosion. Another is gully erosion. Yan, sa wind erosion, hindi mo na makikita sa kapal ng alikabok. And then, of course, the landslide in the Philippines. Every time na may bagyo, swerte pag wala masyadong damages. But then, most of the time, maraming mga damages. And one of that are the landslides that is happening in the Philippines. These are some of the pictures in Benguet after Super Typhoon Mangkut. And then we also have the Cordillera in Surigao. Kasi in Cordillera and Surigao, they are very, very involved in mining. And syempre, pag mining, minimina yung lupa, sa labas, makikita natin na okay pa yung bundok, but then we don't know what is happening underneath that bundok, di ba? Siguro nakalusa na yung mga sa ilalim ng bundok na yan, and sa simpleng pagbaha or sa simpleng lakas ng ulan, that soil, kasi weakened na nga yung sa loob niya, madali na siya ngayong babagsak. So, in Surigao, they have a lot of problems with minings, and a lot of the citizens are complaining kasi kahit konting ulan lang, baha kaagad. And some of the rivers are carrying some heavy metals which affects hindi na sila kapagtanim ng palayan or yung rice fields nila, hindi na rin maganda yung ani. And some of them are even complaining na they also have other health problems which might be related to mining. So I hope the government will do something about it. And that was in the Philippines. This is in Germany, which happened in 2021. So this is one area before and after the flood. So can you imagine, guys? It just happened for one day and ganyan na yung effect niya. So ang laking damage, and you can see also how the landscape is affected and nagbago. Some of the roads are even damaged and houses are being washed out, and there were a lot of people who were killed during this storm. Even in Belgium, we have a lot of problem during that time also, and families na until now, wala pa rin silang bahay na matutuluyan. That is also in Germany. So yung field na yan is talagang gumuho and then gone for less than one day. And this is also the effect of sandstorms in Africa and in Middle East. So can you imagine, guys, sabihin natin yung iba nagsasabi, wind erosion, hindi naman siya ganun kalaki yung kanyang impact. No. For us, in the Philippines, we don't have wind erosion that much. But then, for other countries, like the Middle East, Arab countries, kasi bihira naman yung ulan sa kanila. But then, they also have erosion, and that is caused by wind erosion. So, kita mo, I don't think you are going to go outside kasi kahit pa ilang mask yung isusuot mo dyan pag ganyan kakapal yung alikabok, I think it will be very, very dangerous kasi those particles can go to our lungs, inside our lungs, and can affect us. Also, a lot of properties are being damaged by sandstorms. What are the factors affecting soil erosion by water? First, we have here rainfall, and that includes rainfall intensity. So when we say intensity, it covers there the duration, gaano kahaba, katagal yung ulan, and the strength of the ulan. Kasi sometimes merong sobrang lakas ng ulan pero after 5 minutes lang or 10 minutes tapos na. Meron namang ulan na pakonti-konti pero the whole day or minsan the whole week umuulan. So, it depends. So, meron ngayong intensity nga titignan. Ano nga ba yung effectivity ng rainfall na nagkakos ng erosion? So, the rainfall intensity and not rainfall amount is positively correlated to soil erosion. So, intensity, meaning yung duration at saka yung strength. It's not the amount. Hindi yung paramihan ng ulan. No. It's the duration and the strength of the rainfall. Second is the erosivity. Ito yung potential ability of the rain to cause erosion. The third is soil erodibility. This refers to the vulnerability or susceptibility or proneness of the soil to erosion due to soil structure and texture. Kasi yung mga soil is iba-iba yung kanyang mga properties. Mayroong mga soil na clay soil, mayroon namang sandy soil, sandy loam soil, so iba-iba yung kanyang composition. And some of that soils are prone to erosion, samantalang yung iba ay less prone. Like for example, when you have clay soil, because of the organic matter and they attach more to each other, hindi siya ganun ka-prone to erosion compared to silt soils. Why? Kasi yung silt soils is hindi siya ganun ka-attach to each other. Mas madali siya ngayong matanggal kumpara ngayon sa clay kasi yung clay soil has more binding agent. And at the same time also, organic matter also plays a very important. Kung ang lupa natin ay punong-puno ng organic matter, it also helps binding the soil. So, it holds the soil and through that, hindi siya ganun madaling ma-erode at saka ma-detach. The fourth factor is the vegetation or plant cover. Shorter plants growing closely to the ground surface are more effective in dissipating the raindrops, hence reducing erosion. So when we are going to compare ngayon yung mga punong kahoy kumpara dun mga mababang tanim, mas effective ngayon yung sa pagkontrol ng erosion yung mga shorter plants kumpara ngayon dun sa punong kahoy. Bakit? Kasi once na yung rain ay nagfo-fall dun sa punong kahoy, and then yung tubig na yun ay magfo-fall ngayon sa lupa, medyo mataas yung mataas yung distance niya. So yung kinetic energy ngayon ng rainfall is malakas pa rin. Samantalang pag once yung ulan bumagsak dun sa tanim na nasa mga mababang tanim, once nga bumagsak siya dun, and then pagkagaling dun sa tanim na yun to the soil is medyo short na lang yung distance, so bumababa din yung kanyang kinetic energy. Kaya hindi na siya ganun kalakas yung impact ng raindrop kumpara dun sa galing siya ngayon sa punong kahoy. I hope it's clear, guys. Number 5 is relief or the slope. And this refers to the slope steepness, gaano ka steep at saka gaano kahaba yung slope length because it affects splash erosion and runoff behavior. And then we also have number 6, the human activities or practices. Like shifting cultivation or kaingin, improper cultivation, indiscriminate lumbering, overgrazing, burning, road construction, urbanization, and mining. These activities all affect soil erosion. And these are also the factors affecting soil erosion by wind. So we have here soil cloudiness, surface roughness, wind speed, soil moisture, field size, and vegetative cover. Soil cloudiness. Ano nga bang ibig sabihin ng soil cloudiness? Ito ngayon yung factor which largely indicates whether the wind will erode the soil. Soil clouds are large enough to resist the forces of the wind, and they also shelter other erodible materials. Pag merong mga cloud na na-form, malalaki siya, so naka-cover up niya ngayon yung ibang mga maliliit na mga particles. Clouds are formed during tillage, and their firmness and stability vary with soil type depending on soil moisture, compaction, organic matter, clay content, and other factors. And then through weathering, tillage and implement and animal traffic and abrasion and wind-driven particles, the clouds are broken down. So the sandy loams, loamy sands, and sands form the weakest aggregates or clouds, and thus they are most susceptible to erosion due to low silt, clay, and organic matter content. This is for the wind, guys. Wind erosion. So sandy loam, loamy sands, and sands are mabilis na i-carry out ng hangin because wala sa masyadong silt, wala siya masyadong clay at saka organic matter content na nag-hold sa kanila. The least wind erodible soils are the loams, silt loams, clay loams, and silty clay loams. And then we also have surface roughness. These are the ridges and depressions formed by tillage which alter wind speed by absorbing and deflecting part of the wind energy away from erodible soil. So may mga depression, so yung movement ngayon ng air is, ng wind is affected. Effective ridges must be nearly perpendicular to the direction of prevailing winds, and the rough surfaces also trap moving particles, reducing abrasion and the normal build-up of eroding materials downwind. And then we have the wind speed. The rate of erosion caused by a 48 km per hour wind is more than 3 times that of a 32 km per hour wind. So the wind speed is very, very important. And then soil moisture. Kasi wind erosion decreases pag basa yung lupa. Siyempre, hindi na siya madaling i-carry pag basa yung lupa. But then, when the soil is dry, it erodes about 1 1/3 times more than soil with barely enough moisture to keep plants alive. And then we have the field size. Kasi field size affects the distance the wind blows without encountering a barrier. And the rate of soil loss increases rapidly with distance downwind from the point in the field where the wind erosion process begins. That's why it's very important sa mga field size natin may mga windbreak of trees. Kasi normally, di ba, nagnatam na ng ang mga perimeters ng punong kahoy. So, those trees serves as windbreaks on the windward side of the field, provide shelter from the wind, and reduce the area of the field subject to wind erosion. And of course, vegetative cover. Good vegetative cover on the ground is the most permanent and effective way to control wind erosion. Kaya, please, dapat talaga magtanim tayo ng mga punong kahoy at saka we should not leave the area, soil area bare. So kahit kung hindi pa natin ginagamit yung lupa, grasses grow there. It's okay, pabayaan lang muna natin kasi those grasses will protect the soil from the impact of the raindrops na magkukos ngayon ng erosion. The living or dead vegetative matter protects the soil surface from wind as they reduce wind velocity at the soil surface and by preventing much of the direct wind force from reaching erodible soils. Same for wind and water erosion. Vegetative cover plays a very, very important role. The main point here is that we should not leave the soil bare, as in walang tanim. It can be grasses or anything as long as Meron siyang protection from wind and from water. It's a very good help to prevent soil erosion. To end this presentation, let us discuss about the susceptibility of soil to erosion. Texture is very important because this is the principal characteristic affecting erodibility of the soil, but structure, organic matter, cohesion, compaction, and permeability also contributes to the susceptibility of soil to erosion. In general, soils with faster infiltration rates, higher levels of organic matter, and improved soil structure have a greater resistance to erosion. Ibig sabihin na kapag ang lupa ay merong mga ganitong mga properties, hindi siya ngayon madaling ma-erode kumpara sa walang ganitong mga properties. Soils consist of very fine sand, yung pinong-pinong buhangin, clay, or silt, tend to be highly erosive. Mas madali siyang ma-erode kasi they are light and easy to be carried by the water. On the other hand, clayey and loamy soils tend to have moderate erodibility because they are more attached to each other and they also contain higher organic matter. Pero, sandy soils generally have low erodibility. Hindi siya madaling ma-erode kasi mabigat siya, and also mas mabilis ang infiltration rate at saka permeability ng sandy soil, which allows water to pass through them. So yung tubig is nagfo-flow lang siya downward. So hindi siya ganun madaling magbaha at mag-accumulate yung tubig, which will be moved horizontally. Of course, pag pinong-pino yung sandy soils, very fine sands, mas madali siya ngayong ma-erode. In addition, soils that are rough on the surface offer added protection from wind erosion. That ends our topic for today. Sana meron kayong natutunan, and watch out for the last part of this lecture series in which we are going to talk about the different measures to conserve soil. Thank you very much for watching and see you next time. Bye!